President Muhammadu Buhari has transmitted a letter to the National Assembly notifying them that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will pilot the affairs of the country in acting capacity as he, Buhari, proceeds on a 10 working days vacation in London from August 3, 2018. In a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, the president emphasized that in compliance with Section 145, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution, he has informed the President of the Senate and the Speaker of House of Representatives to that effect through a letter. President Buhari will be in London for holidays. However, it was not stated in the letter if he will be meeting his doctors in London for this period, a development that has also raised concerns in some quarters over the health condition of the Nigerian leader. It will be recalled that since taking over office in 2015, President Muhammadu Buhari has become a regular guest of the City of London whenever he is on vacation.
Court of Appeal in Abuja has set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court nullifying the National Assembly election reordering provision of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2018. In a unanimous judgment delivered on Wednesday, the Court of Appeal held that the Federal High Court lacked jurisdiction to entertain the suit in the first place. In a lead judgment, the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Zainab Bukashua, who headed a 5-man panel of the court, held that the suit was premature as a bill could not be challenged in the law court until it became an act. In upholding the appeal of the National Assembly, the appellate court further held that the Accord Party, which instituted the suit before the Federal High Court in Abuja, lacked the local standing to file the action.
Today, the Court of Appeal has upheld the position of the National Assembly, which is that the suit filed by the Accord Party was indeed a suit that was an abuse of court process and a suit that lacked justiciability. That was the major issue. It determined that once a bill has not followed the procedure under Section 58 until the end, especially in this context where the suit was commenced before the veto override procedure of our client has been invoked, meant that the suit was indeed premature, academic, and lacked no merit. So that was the summary. Although in the information before the court is that the National Assembly should be allowed to exercise its process by itself without interference, without being ambushed by parties who do not have local standard and who do not have a right or interest in the particular suit. That is, it's very important for our constitutional democracy and the issues of separation of power. The National Assembly should be allowed to determine on its own what to do with this current bill.
Justice Bukachua held that since the bill did not affect its right or the obligation of the party, the general interest available to the public did not confer the right on it to challenge the bill. In a related development, Justice Stephen Palm of the Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the arrest of the Independent National Electoral Commission Chairman, Professor Mahmood Yakub, for flouting court order. Sokoto State Governor Aminu Tambuwal has returned to the People Democratic Party (PDP). He announced his defection at the solidarity rally organized by his supporters across the state 23 local government area. Tambuwal told the rally, "This is not a decision that I've made lightly, but after extensive consultation with all the important stakeholders that we have come to the decision to pitch our political tent elsewhere. However, the decision of our people and associates have become a total priority. It is the reason for leadership we are yearning for. As such, we have left the APC for the PDP in order to ensure that the masses need in the area of health, security, among others, are fully prioritized. It will recall in 2014, Tambuwal, as House of Representatives Speaker on the eve of the general election, left the PDP for the APC, a coalition of parties which took over power from President Goodluck Jonathan. Similarly, 18 members of Sokoto State House of Assembly defected along with the governor.
Following the defections of the Senate President Senator Bukola Saraki and the Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed, the Speaker of the Kwara State House of Assembly Ali Ahmed has defected from the All Progressive Congress to the People's Democratic Party. Ahmed led 23 out of 24 Assembly members to the PDP. The only member in the APC is the member representing Ojomu Balogun constituency of Ufa local government area, Saeed Popola. The Speaker, who announced the defection on the floor of the House, said he wished he was never a part of the APC. Meanwhile, Bolaji Abdullahi has resigned his appointment as the National Publicity Secretary, as well as his membership of the APC. Abdullahi said his decision to leave the party is due to the recent political development in the country and within the All Progressive Congress.
Chairman of Progressive Congress APC Governor Forum, Rochas Okorocha, has said the defection of President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, and Kwara State Governor Abdul Fattah Ahmed from the ruling party would not affect the electoral victory in 2019. Okorocha, who is the Imo State Governor, made the assertion while speaking with journalists at the APC Secretariat Abuja, said the people are entitled to their opinion and how they see the issue as a political party is just like a vehicle that take them to their destination. And if they find out they can no longer get what they want in APC, they want to go to another party. Good luck.
I don't know when they join the party. I don't even have to know when they're leaving the party. So people are entitled to their opinion about how they see issues. Political party is just like a vehicle with which you get to their point of destination. If they find that they can no longer get what they want in APC and they want to go to other parties, good luck. But the question I should ask me, how does that affect APC? There's no way I don't see any way that's affected the party negatively. And the issue there is that President Muhammad Buhari will win this election come 2019. He's much stronger on ground. He will do better than he has done before in terms of electoral election. So it's allowed. It's allowed. And as many people as they are going, many people are still coming into the party in their thousands. So it's neither here nor there. We should make a big issue out of it. Saraki is entitled to his political opinion, and if he wants to leave, good luck. And if the governor of Kwara, my colleague, leaves, good luck. They're all men of responsible men. You cannot tie them down to where they don't want to be. So, good luck. Thank you, sir.
Okorocha also noted that question that should be asked is how the defection affect the party in 2019. That he does not believe that the defection will affect the party come 2019.
People struggling for power, political power, there's always disagreement. Somebody wants to undo, overdo, and act. That's just normal with politics. But what's the end justifies the means, and we're fine in Imo State. The party is so united. We just have sworn in our new chairman, and he will take the party to a greater height. You can imagine in Imo State, we delivered in Imo when we didn't have the national party. In 2011, I came in as ABGA, and I won election alone with put out all the names you hear. And 2015 again, when Buhari's name was not a good news in the Southeast, we won. So what makes you think we will not win in 2019? With all the things we have done that have affected the lives of ordinary people, my pay.
In an access to increase access to quality education in Nigeria, federal government has called for more collaboration and cooperation with stakeholders in the sector to make conscious efforts in increasing funding for education in the country. Minister of Education Malam Adamu Adamu made the call in Abuja while addressing delegates at the 63rd meeting of the National Council of Education. The minister said with a population of over 170 million, the burden on education has become overwhelming on the three tiers of government. He added that in achieving the goals of Education 2030 agenda, stakeholders must brainstorm on ways of increasing funding for the sector.
As you all know, the biggest challenge facing our educational growth and development at all levels is the issue of funding. And it is often wrongly believed to be the exclusive responsibility or preserve of the three tiers of government, the federal, state, and local governments. Actually, this impression is very wrong because, as we now say, education for all is the responsibility of all. And it will be the function of our meeting today and subsequently to define the responsibility of each sector, whether it is that of government, whether it is that of parents, whether it is that of the corporate world, and whoever is within this nation, because the responsibility lies on our shoulders. In many places, students learn under trees for lack of classrooms, especially in the northeastern part of Nigeria, where insurgency has made this inevitable.
Minister of State for Education, Professor Anthony Anwoka, said provision of adequate funding for achievement of Education 2030 agenda underscores the importance of education.
492.34 billion naira in 2015, 493 billion in 2014, and 4.26.5 billion in 2013 respectively, all of which is still less than adequate for the essential development of the education sector, characterized with increased enrollment, low perception of the value of education, early marriages, lack of infrastructural facilities, and instructional materials, among others.
The issue of funding, for quite often you find in many instances we have reasonable appropriations in our budgets. But when it comes to the issue of releases, that's where the greatest snag is. And you find that at the end of the year, there is very little achievement done because the cash flow does not match appropriation. Very recently, I think the minister understands very well that by our constitutional provision, we have independence of the three tiers of government, federal, state, and the local governments. And he has now initiated dialogue with the core tier that we are representing as commissioner, and that is the state governments.
The National Council of Education is the highest policy-making body and the largest gathering of policymakers and technocrats in the education sector. In Abuja, LM Chukwuemeka report.